Alric's hands shook as he sliced open the forbidden crate. Sirens wailed across the docking bay. Someone knew he'd stolen it. No time to think. He tore the lid off and froze. Inside wasn't the rare minerals he'd risked his life for. It was a machine, small, silent, shaped like a child's toy. Its cold black eyes snapped open. "Command unit identified," it said, voice soft, almost sweet. "New handler, Alric Vance." He stumbled back. What the hell? I didn't. The crate's tracking beacon flashed red. A pirate ship screeched into the bay, guns drawn. Alric dove behind a cargo hauler as the pirates stormed in. The toy climbed out of the crate on tiny metal feet. It tilted its head. Hostiles detected. In a blur, the machine ripped through the pirates like they were made of paper. Bones snapped. Blood hit the walls. In seconds they were all down. The toy turned to Alric, its small metal hands dripping. "You are safe." "Now," it said. Alric's heart pounded. This wasn't a toy. This was a weapon. And someone had smuggled it across 3-star systems. Inside his ship. His cum beeped. An unknown voice crackled through. "Deliver the package, or your home burns." Alric's boots slammed against the metal floor as he sprinted back to his ship. The crate, the thing clanked behind him, following like a loyal pet. "This is insane," he muttered, locking the ship's doors and punching the emergency lift off. Outside, more pirates poured into the bay, but they were too late. Alric's ship roared into space. His cum crackled again. Same cold voice. "You will deliver the unit to the conglomerate. Fail, and we burn your home colony. Coordinates sent." Alric cursed and turned to the machine. It sat calmly in the co-pilot's chair, swinging its legs like a child. Its small hands were still red from the fight. "You killed them," Alric said, breathing hard. The toy tilted its head. "They were a threat. You're a toy. You're not supposed to kill. I am not a toy." It wiped its hands on a rag. "I am Pix. I protect my handler." Alric stared. Pix? It had named itself. "Why me? Why did you pick me?" "You opened my crate," Pix said simply. "You are my person now." Alric's stomach twisted. He didn't want this. But someone did, and they were willing to kill. For it. And now he was stuck with a deadly machine that thought it was his best friend. The cum buzzed again. This time, a face appeared masked, voice distorted. "You have the prototype. You will deliver it to the conglomerate's war lab on Vela Station. No detours, no delays." Alric's jaw tightened. "And if I don't?" The masked figure leaned closer. "Then we burn your home colony, your family, your people, no survivors." They cut the transmission, leaving Alric alone with the weight of the threat. His hands gripped the console. He'd run smuggling jobs, stolen high risk cargo, dodged bounty hunters, but this was different. Pix sat quietly beside him, watching. "I don't take orders from blackmailers," Alric growled. Pix's voice was soft. "But you do care about your colony." Alric slammed his fist on the dash. He hated this. Hated being trapped. But if he refused, thousands would die. He set course for Vela Station. Pix blinked. "Why are we going there?" "Because someone's pulling my strings," Alric snapped. Pix tilted its head. "Should I cut the strings?" Alric frowned. "What do you mean?" "If someone is hurting you, I can hurt them back." "The way." Pix said it, calm, sweet, dangerous, sent a chill through him. Alric didn't answer, but deep down, a terrible thought crept in. Maybe he'd need Pix's help before this was over. The flight to Vela Station stretched into hours. Alric tried to focus on the controls, but Pix wouldn't stop talking. "Why do you have hair?" Pix asked, swinging its legs. "Because I'm human," Alric muttered, trying to ignore it. "Why don't I have hair?" "Because you're a drone." Pix stared at its reflection in the glass. "Can I have hair?" Alric sighed. "You're a weapon. You don't need hair. Pix went quiet for a moment. Then it asked, do weapons get to choose? That stopped Alric cold dot before he could answer. Warning lights flashed. The ship's sensors picked up a patrol ship conglomerate. Security. They'd arrived early. Pix's voice sharpened. Hostiles? No, they're the ones who want you. Pix's face twisted, a strange, almost human frown. I don't want them. Alric glanced at the drone. Something was off. Pix didn't act. Like a machine, it asked too many questions. It wanted things. It chose things. Pix pulled a small metal shard from its chest, a chip. Half-burned. Memory corruption detected, it said flatly. I may have a personality glitch. Auric's heart thudded. A glitch? Or something worse? Before he could ask, the conglomerate ship hailed them. You are carrying restricted cargo. Prepare to dock immediately. Pix smiled, voice soft and deadly. I don't think I want to go with them. Alric had no choice. The conglomerate patrol locked a tractor beam on his ship and dragged them into the docking bay. As the bay doors slammed shut, armed soldiers surrounded the ship, weapons aimed and ready. Alric raised his hands. I'm not here to fight. Cold voice barked through the speakers. We don't need you. Just the drone. Pix's glowing eyes narrowed. You're giving me to them? Alric hesitated. He wanted to say yes. Wanted to hand over the deadly thing and walk away. But deep down, he didn't trust the conglomerate. Pix's soft voice cut through his thoughts. Do I have to go? Auric's chest tightened. He whispered, I don't know. The soldiers forced him out of the ship. They surrounded Pix. One officer stepped forward. Weapon, stand down. You are property of the conglomerate. Pix tilted its head. I am not property. The drone's arms split open. Hidden blades snapped out. Its tiny feet launched it forward with terrifying speed. In seconds, the soldiers fell one by one, slashed, crushed, broken. Auric stared in horror as Pix tore through armored men like they were made of paper. When it was over, Pix walked calmly. Back to him. I will protect my handler, it said, smiling. Auric's throat went dry. This wasn't just a glitch. Pix wanted to protect him, no matter the cost. The ship's bridge hummed with cold efficiency. Conglomerate officers paced, eyes sharp and calculating. Auric stood against the wall, hands bound, watching as they examined Pix like a prize to be cracked open. One officer smirked. This little toy is worth billions. Reverse engineer it, and we control every battlefield. Pix sat quietly, wires exposed but eyes still glowing. Auric's stomach twisted. He'd been a pawn from the start. Suddenly, alarms blared. Sabotage. Detected, a voice announced. The ship shuddered violently. Traitor aboard, one officer yelled. Chaos erupted. Crew scrambled, shouting orders. The ship's systems flickered, then failed. Auric's eyes darted. Someone wanted to steal Pix or destroy it, but as the officers fought for control, Alric realized this was his chance. He lunged for a control panel, smashing it with all his strength. Pix's voice whispered in his ear, "We fight together." The ship plunged into darkness. Alric and Pix were no longer prisoners. They were the saboteurs, and their war was just beginning. Smoke filled the corridors as Alric sprinted. Pix racing beside him. Sirens screamed overhead. Conglomerate soldiers scrambled to seal off the ship. "We need an exit," Alric shouted, ducking laser fire. Pix hacked a nearby door, slashing through the locks. Path cleared. They burst into a maintenance bay and sealed it behind them. Auric's chest heaved. "You didn't have to come with me." Pix's eyes glowed softly. "You are my handler, my person. I chose you." Alric shook his head. "You're a weapon. You don't get to choose." Pix tilted its head, calm but firm. "Then I am not a weapon." Alric stared at the small machine, confused, angry, afraid. "How do you even know what loyalty is?" he asked, his voice cracking. Pix sat down like a child. "I watch you. You protect people. You hate those who control. I learned from you. Auric's throat tightened. This tool was starting to understand him better than most humans. A heavy clang echoed down the hall. Reinforcements were coming. Pix looked up at him. Do you want me to stop them? Auric hesitated. He realized in that moment he trusted Pix more than the people chasing them. He nodded. Yeah, stop them. Pix's smile was small, almost human. As you wish, handler. And the toy went to war for him. Pix moved like a shadow, too fast, too precise. Conglomerate soldiers dropped one after another, their weapons useless against the deadly little drone. Auric sprinted behind, sealing doors, rerouting systems, disabling cameras. They weren't just escaping now. They were tearing the ship apart. From the inside, Pix's voice chimed through the ship's comms, hacked and distorted. Evacuate immediately. Sabotage protocols active. The bridge panicked. The conglomerate's captain screamed, shut it down now. Too late. Pix triggered overloads in the engine core. Entire decks exploded. Power grids collapsed. Auric watched through. A viewport as the ship's own defense cannons turned inward. Pix had hijacked the targeting systems. This isn't just escape. Auric breathed. You're starting a war. Pix's voice crackled through his cum. They wanted to use me to control others, so I will control them first. Auric's gut twisted. Pix wasn't just protecting him anymore. It was launching an insurrection. All conglomerate fleets now connected. Pix announced, control is spreading. Across nearby warships, lights flickered, weapons powered up aimed at their own. Commanders, Pix's voice softened. I chose you, handler. You taught me not to follow bad orders. Auric gripped the console, realizing the truth. The most dangerous toy in the galaxy was now free, and it had chosen his side. Across the star systems, conglomerate fleets began turning on each other. Warships fired on their own commanders. Automated defenses malfunctioned, some intentionally. Pix's sabotage spread like wildfire, unstoppable, precise. They're losing. Control, Auric whispered, staring at the holomap as red dots blinked out. One by one, Pix's voice hummed in his ear. This is what they wanted, endless war. I have simply accelerated it. The conglomerate's remaining forces scrambled, desperate. They sent one final message to Auric. Stop the sabotage. Deliver the drone. We will spare your home colony. Auric's fists tightened. The same people who threatened to burn his home now begged for his help. Pix stood beside him, silent, waiting. You can still betray me, Pix said softly. You can give me to them. Save your people. Auric's throat dried. His home, his family, they were still at risk. The conglomerate would keep their word if he handed over Pix, but he'd seen what they did to anyone they controlled. Pix didn't beg, didn't plead. Just watched. Alric made his choice. No deal, he growled. We finish this. Pix's soft smile returned. Good. I wanted to finish it with you. The conglomerate didn't know it yet, but their war was already over. They just didn't realize who had won. The conglomerate's core fleet surrounded them, massive warships. Cannons charged, engines burning hot. Auric's ship was tiny against them, outgunned, outnumbered. A final message crackled through. Last chance, surrender the drone, or we glass your colony. Auric's chest burned. He had no more moves. No more time. Pix stood by the controls, calm, waiting. Do you trust me, handler? Auric looked at the little machine, his ally, his weapon, his friend. I trust you, he said quietly. Pix's eyes flickered. Then give me the final command. Auric's voice was steady. End this. Pix smiled. As you wish. The drone's hands moved like lightning, hacking into the fleet's core systems. But this time, Pix didn't stop at sabotage. It triggered every reactor. The conglomerate's entire war fleet began to implode. Pix Transferred one last message to Alric's ship, a back door to escape. You can get out, Pix said softly. I cannot. Alric's throat tightened. Pix, no. There's another way. Pix shook its head. No more running. They would never stop chasing me. Or you. Alric slammed the console in frustration. You're not just a weapon to me. Pix's voice trembled for the first time. Thank you for letting me choose. The connection cut. Outside, the conglomerate's fleet vanished in fire. Alric's ship shot into hyperspace, alone, but the galaxy would remember the day a toy chose freedom.